This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morphin Network.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Two Dino key powers. One has the power to remove curses. The other has the power to create black holes. And somehow there's nightmares involved, and I don't know what's going on.
It's a combination between light and dark. Oh my gosh. Is this a Kingdom Heart reference?
Well, when you walk away, you want to hear me say, don't go.
All right. Hey, everybody.
How's everyone doing? This is a Ranger Podcast Live. I'm Time Rider Zero, and with me is Red Star. And if you're wondering where the rest of the squad is, they are fighting off a giant monster while the two of us have to unlock a new Zord.
The Zords are too powerful. The Sporgs are too powerful.
I'm being honest with you. This gave me Nintendo 3DS vibes of what's called the Mega Force game, where Emma won't stop saying, "Break it and see what's inside. Break it and see what's inside. Break it and see what's inside."
Are you thinking about Wonder Ball? Because I kind of missed that candy.
Yeah. God. So this episode has been a bit of a nightmare. And you're finally getting to review it is such a dream.
Yes.
But enough stalling. We are reviewing episode 20 of Power Rangers Dino Fury.
Waking Nightmares.
And boy, do we have a lot to say about this episode. But we are doing a bit of a new formula in this episode. So we're just not going to summarize it because we're just going to assume that all of you watched it at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's start with, let's try. So we're pretty much being experimental for this time around before we have like a set formula for future episodes. But let's do something a little familiar at first. 30-second. What did you think of the episode?
I find the episode entertaining, but at the end, I just kind of find it really odd how we didn't see so much of what happened at the end, because I like to know more, but I feel like they're just saving it for the next episode. And what is the real purpose behind like Ollie's mom's machine?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it?
No. Right. And for me, I still have a couple of questions to ask about this episode. And spoiler alert, a lot of them won't be answered in the two remaining episodes after this. But it's nice to finally see the two new Raptor swords. I did have them up here, but some stuff happened, and now they're in pieces and on the floor. But thankfully, they're Lego style, so I can just reassemble them. But yes, So the episode has introduces two new Zords, the Shadow Raptor and the Shine Raptor. Those are the Japanese names. I don't know if they kept the same names for the American version, but long story short, following up from the previous episode, they find the two new Dino keys. They said that the white Dino key removes curses. The black one creates black holes, which honestly feels like a kind of weird as a combination of light and dark for the same keys. What did you think about that aspect?
I kind of find it interesting because they're saying they changed a little bit of like what the light Raptor Zord does. Like, it cleanses all the curses or something, and then and then the cosmic or the black raptor Zord creates black hole. So when they're saying it, describing it that way, I was hoping like, wait, so the dark raptor, maybe it brings curses, but I guess not.
Yeah, because you think when you have like two keys together and one's white, the other's black, you'd think they would complement each other in some way. Like if we're gonna keep the white one as being a remover of curses, maybe the black one should have been a bringer of curses, or if the black one has the power to manipulate space, the white one should manipulate time. And considering what happens later in the episode, you'd think that would kind of play into things a little bit with the time travel aspect.
Mhm.
And I really hope that some of that actually does happen in season 2 involving Amelia. But all things considered, we'll put it when we need to. Let's see. So yes. So the episode did start off with Ion and having a nightmare about that little final Zord battle that we saw in a flashback in a previous episode, and it seems like he's still blaming himself for the Megazord being destroyed. Does it strike you as weird that, like, because based on the original flashback, they kind of confirmed that the decision to leave the Zord was Zato's idea. So why might Ion be holding guilt against it? Like, why does because it seems like he's personally feeling guilty about it.
It could be a sign where like maybe him as a sixth ranger carries a certain role or a certain role of duty when he's in the team during the sporks war on their planet,
Mhm.
and it could be something, but it seems like we need to dig a little bit more. We only got a little piece of from Ion, but we're just waiting. Maybe the next episode will produce more info
Mhm.
of how Ion became this, and he's having this dream, and how it means like it means something serious to him. You
Mhm.
know.
Right. Right. So I find it really interesting because, like, I wonder how much of a burden this is going to keep playing even after the events of season 1. Because sometimes you have to wonder if, like, Andros still feels guilty about killing Zordon, even though that happened over 20 years ago. So yeah, or maybe like some of the other Rangers might feel guilty about Billy absorbing all that negative energy in Mighty Morphin, or you know, because like we don't really talk about like guilt that much on Power Rangers, or at least a guilt that stays with you even like a long time after a certain battle's over, and it's like water on the bridge, but it still weighs over you in like small creeping moments. I find that really interesting. Now here's the one of the more interesting parts of the episode. The fact that Ion and Zato had to fight the original teammates. What do you think of that? And do you think this is going to tie into speculation that Zed might have evil Rangers coming back?
It could. It could. Who knows? Because now that they have like now that they have the keys to like form this this weapon to enter or go travel through like cosmic dimension, it means multiverse. Ha ha ha. And with multiverse, ha ha ha, we might encounter like different kinds of rangers. And this what caught me a little bit off guard, like when in this scene when Zato entered this portal, and all of a sudden these rangers, like these rangers that's probably from Zato's like old team, starts
Mhm.
attacking him, and they just they just appeared out of nowhere, and I was like, there's got to be something off. Is it some kind of like an alien being, or protecting the land, because Ion
Mhm.
did unleash the portal to where to find those Zords, so it could
Right.
be like a security alarm.
Right, because there was that episode of Mighty Morphin season 3 where Tommy had to like deal with the fact that he was evil at one point when he had to obtain the Zeo crystal from Lord Zed's moon base. And then there was a Corone who had to fight Astronema in that episode of Lost Galaxy when they had to retrieve the Battleizer. So so like there is that. So I kind of like how people are being tested by their own doubts and stuff. One thing I am surprised they didn't go with. Who knows? Maybe they will next season. But one thing I'm surprised they didn't go with is by having the 4 new Rangers fight the original Rangers instead of having the 2 survivors, because it's like then they would have had a sort of an SPD reference where B Squad had to fight A Squad because they were the best of the best. They have to fight their superior counterparts.
Nah, that will be adding too much parts that the audience would like to know. It's like this is a Power Rangers show, and we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. But when Ion found a way to find the light and the darks, what do you call them? The light and dark?
Light and Dark Zords.
The light and dark Zords. When he found like a cosmic portal to find them, we we just realized that
Mhm.
uh Void Knight, he found out like there's this Ollie's mom's machine can produce enough energy that can bring back his beloved one
Mhm.
instead of using the Sporex. So he just found a plan B, which is better than plan A. So does this mean that the hunt for Sporex is over? Or does this mean that Void Knight has other plans using the Sporex?
Interesting. And of course, this brings, speaking of the issue of Void Knight's machine and its sports collection, let's talk about some of the comedy. So the episode, like even before the nightmare scene, started with Mucus turning on the machine while Void Knight's not looking, and then it creates a disco machine to activate, and then Void Knight's like, "Did you just turn on the machine? Curses! That means you are more awesome than I am now."
Oh, yes, I am much cooler, and I can dance and go funky.
Yeah, honestly, like this scene was very surreal, and honestly, this was the funniest Mucus scene I've seen so far.
I am down for Disco Mucus
Mhm.
for sure, and I loved it. And it's just something fun to just add into this episode, and
Right,
I smiled at that moment.
right. And Ken, what do you think of the comedy in this episode?
That's probably the funniest thing Mucus has done. But yeah, it was kind of like when Mick had that daydream of going back to Flurious, and like they go, "You sit here and I'll get you some ice cream." Yeah, thought that was funny at least. So
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty funny. And but yeah, so with the revelations, we do find out that this was all a test created by the 2 Raptor Zords, and of course, Zato went back to help the team while Ion gets the Shine Raptor Zord and the Dark Raptor Zord. So what do you guys think of the final battle in this episode?
it was pretty awesome.
Hmm.
I love I actually was saying this a while back that it would, like, with all the explosions in Power Rangers, it's kind of funny how the bad guys, well, never take advantage of it. Like set a bunch of gasoline and trick the Rangers into a place, and like if it causes a big explosion, and then boom, they would also be taken out too. So thought that was cool that we actually get a bad guy who takes advantage of the this strange quirk, which I don't think we really saw that since RPM.
Yes, I was going to mention how RPM actually did try to do that with the balloons bot.
Mhm.
Like he wanted Vendrix wanted the Rangers to destroy that attack bot because it had toxic gas inside of it,
Mhm.
and that would force them to lower their shields, which was actually very clever on his part.
Mhm.
But now that
Any
Void Knight knows that there's an alternative way to access the morphing grid and use its powers to save his loved one, what do you guys think about the way the episode handles the cliffhanger? And also,
Hmm.
what do you guys think about the fact that if if the fact that if the reason he's collecting sporks is because it can harness grid energy, then what do you think he's going? Then what do you think? Like, I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it. What do you guys think of the connection between the sporks and the morphing grid?
I
Ah,
You want to take it, Clement?
okay. My theory is the Sporix probably share the same universe, or
Lord
the
Chinchilla has returned.
You
Sorry.
ruined my entrance.
yay.
Oh,
So
damn it.
my theory is the Sporix is probably like this shares the same power source with the morphing grid. Like, because remember, the Power Rangers, they receive their powers from a cosmic universe. So maybe the Sporix are like related, and it's kind of like molecules, like, in before when
Like dark matter.
kind of, yes. Like, I'm not a scientist myself, but like these sporks are probably these little molecules that are formed, like, could be the same energy that is mixed with a morphing grid. Any sort of power can find a way to like come in any shape or form. So
Mhm.
maybe the sporix is related to it. That's how they have harnessed the power to create monsters, and
Mhm.
have that power to, like, who knows, give the
Mhm.
Rangers more power if
Right.
it's kind of like that.
Mhm.
I feel like the Sporex main aren't actually connected to the morphing grid. Maybe there's some energy in them. Like, I don't think it was said when Rafcon created them that there was, but it's possible. After all, the morphing grid isn't purely something only the good guys can use. Both sides have access to it and can use it for their various schemes. If it is connected to, if the spur axes are connected to the grid, then I don't. It'd be interesting to see what they do with that, like in next season. But
Mhm.
who knows?
Yeah. So, like, my thoughts, unless Ryan, you wanna give your 2 cents on the question.
No, it's a question.
Uh, based on the way the episode is framed, what do you guys think about the possible connection between the sporks and the morphing grid?
Well, I can say that maybe the reason why the spores cannot be destroyed is because of the morphing grid. As long as the morphing grid exists, the spores can die. So basically, you have to sacrifice the morphing grid for the sporix to die, but risk losing the Power Rangers powers.
Mm. Yeah, that
Oh.
that reminds me of Beetleborgs with the White Blaster Borg can only
Mhm.
exist while the Shadow Borg exists.
Mhm.
So the both of them had to be sacrificed together for the greater good. But one thing I was thinking is if Void Knight manages to use Dr. Kana's device to use the morphing grid to bring back Mrs. Freeze, and he ends up not needing to use the sporix. This could create a window for possibly Lord Zed using the sporix as a morphin grid matter to create his Dark Rangers or Serpentera, whatever it is he might be planning in season 2. Just a thought, because I notice how there's a pattern in Power Rangers where there's always some kind of MacGuffin item that's left over from the end of season 1 that'll somehow come back as a Chekhov's gun in season 2.
Mhm.
So That's something that I might be looking forward to looking at. But we'll make our further predictions after we finish season 1. So there's that.
Waking
Okay.
nightmares.
Okay,
Oh,
so wrapping up before we move on to the comments, what's your scores of the episode out of 10? Ryan, why don't you go first since you're the newcomer this episode?
newcomer. I watched this for you guys anyway. I like the two Zords, the Shadow and Light Zord. I liked how it was very creative, basically showing that the nightmare scene basically kind of proved. It's like the Mystic Force episode. Remember when the Rangers had to get their powers back? So it's like
Yeah.
that with the Phantom. We can add the Phantom Dino Fury Rangers.
Mhm.
Honestly, it was a really good episode. Well read. I really liked it. I don't see anything problems about it. Yeah, and Ollie's mom was in it really well, done really well. So again, this episode's really good. Zato actually had a real good arc in this episode. I really liked it, especially Jordy. I mean,
Mhm.
Ion's character. So honestly, it was a very good episode. I do not see any flaws in this episode. I would say I give it a 10. I liked it.
Cool.
I'm serious.
Cool,
It's
we got a 10.
because the thing is, I like when Rangers kind of talk about their, like basically there's more. It's more mature, more grounded.
Mhm.
And I like instead of like just fighting. I mean, I do like the fighting, but I do like
Yeah.
the character, and you show a lot of characters for Aeon and Zato in this episode, and especially Ollie's mom. So 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay, Kent, how about you?
Actually, have Clement go first. I'm trying to get something.
I would give it an 8 out of 10. Like I find the pacing was good, and there are some lines that are just the scene when Ion and Zato are fighting the Nightmares Rangers, and they just keep repeating the same thing, the line like 3 times or 2 times. I kind of find it hilarious and annoying at the same time.
Mhm.
But that's part of like every ranger going through like terrible nightmares, because it's something that can never escape from their memories. And I like I liked how they use the light and dark Zords, like combine and travel through cosmic dimensions. And hey, Boom Tower came back. That was great.
Save that.
Yeah.
Boom Tower came back. So
Yeah, Boom Tower came back, and Rhaegal like brought him back from the dead, and it's just fun to see a familiar face that started in that started Dino Fury, and I like the cliffhanger, but it just leaves me a lot of questions. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Yeah, just want to go from there.
Okay, we've
Okay.
got a 10 and an 8. So, Kent, how about you?
I think this episode was overall flawless. Like, it's also it's cool to actually see. It's cool the ancient warrior. Like, it's cool to see like the original knights from Rafcon get a little spotlight, because the ancient warriors, they got a little bit, but they weren't exactly fleshed out. The mystic titans were, or the original mystics were kind of just there just to serve the purpose of being their predecessors, and we didn't really get anything else out of them. There was a little bit of focus on the ancient samurai rangers as well as the samurai rangers' parents, but I do like that this episode gives, I was like, these people were, Zato and Ion's friends before, they perished, and it's nice to show that they're feeling a little guilt and remorse about what happened to them. That was cool, and that's also clever that the planet Nibiru, uses. That's Nibiru, not Nibira from Scooby Doo. I thought that was, and that's not even a planet. That's a spell thing. Other off topic, but like I said, it was cool to see, the original Rafcons get a little focus. It'll be cool if they come back again later on when we least expect it. And yeah, I thought this was a good intro for the Zords. Also, hold on right quick before they're all gone. I was like, Keeper became a giant black hole. That is so fitting. Anyway, yeah, 10 out of 10.
Okay, so we got 2 10s and an 8. Well, I honestly like the episode. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of small issues, but they're pretty negligible. I actually very much enjoyed the episode and how we're dealing with survivor's guilt and how it's affecting both Ion and Zato. And I do find a lot of mechanics interesting, but I'm still left with the question. Like they didn't really show the whole breaking curses aspect of the White Zord. That's literally the one nitpick I have, and that's why I have to give the episode a low score of 9.7 out of 10. But that's my thoughts on it. So audience, what did you think of the episode? Did you like it, dislike it? What's your score out of 10? Let us know in the comments. Remember, no spoilers for those of you who are sticking to the Nickelodeon standards.
I'm glad it came here. Actually, hold up. So I have a prize for you guys. It's not for this. So I actually do have a prize for the next episode. I'm actually gonna bring it right now. So might do the comments while I get the prize. I actually have a free giveaway, but not for this podcast. For the next podcast. So
Okay. Okay. Psycho Orange says, "What's up? What's up, Orange?" Thomas says, "Hey." Edward says, "Hey," and I say, "Hey, hey, hey, hey." What's going on? Okay. Let's see. One person did not like this episode in their opinion. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. We're very open minded about our audiences disagreeing with us. Let's see. Some more people were not fans of this episode. Paramesh says hi.
I can't reveal it yet. My bad. I can't reveal this thing yet. Very secret. So next.
Oh wait, look, Jen. It's portal time. Also, Jen missed the return of her favorite character and his villains. So
yes, and Prathamesh is excited for season 2.
Okay.
Let's see. Thomas is happy Jen is here.
Eric Sanchez.
And Edward Sanchez says the original Dino Fury Rangers survived the explosion. Ollie, Amelia, Izzy, and Javi would not be Power Rangers. That much is true.
Actually, I'm gonna ask you guys this. Would you like to see an episode where the original Rangers do come back and have a power struggle between the other 4 Rangers, basically?
Or do these evil clones of them? Like
no. Like example, like remember Lightspeed Rescue when they had the robot? Yeah.
Yes.
There's also the A Squad.
Yeah, but like, don't you feel like? Wouldn't you like to see a series like an episode where the 4 Dino Fury Rangers, like the original ones, come back, and you feel these other like the Kurt feel insecure? Wouldn't you like to see that cause a little tension? Like they're not bad. It's just they just survived.
Yeah. I think Ryan's referring more on the lines of when Alex came back to become the Red Ranger again.
And then you see Wes became very insecure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't you like see that and basically, but then you see that they change because Ato's change, Aeon's change. He's more comfortable with the old team, and then the 4 Rangers decide, oh, you know what? Let them become still because remember, too much pink power is bad.
Yeah, too much pink energy.
Of the same, yeah. If they could do that route and be all right, you know what? Let them become still the Ranger, and we'll get on with our lives and be law-abiding citizens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's this giveaway that you're planning on doing for next episode?
Can't reveal it now.
I can't reveal it yet.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I just found out.
Well, shall we do our usual cleanup? Clement, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, cleo1031, and also I'm hanging around the Morphin Network. I've been saying that for so long, so I'm gonna save my breath.
Okay. And Kent, where can they find you?
Instagram, brown_K, as well as QR Ranger Book.
All right. And Ryan, where can they find you?
Instagram, DancerBoy247. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at the Morphin Network.
Right. And of course, you could find me on Instagram at chrono_just_cosplay. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. If you liked this review, please let us know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you could keep up with all the other episodes that we've done of Dino Fury, Kamen Rider Revice. We're doing an episode review in half an hour. So be sure to stick around for that. And of course, you could watch these two do the next episodes in Kaiju whenever it is they decide to announce it, and of course, be sure to check out our recent interviews with various actors and a certain coverage that we've done with a certain King of Triforia.
Time for a gold rush, baby.
Yes.
Gold Rush.
So we got all that and more on our Facebook and YouTube, and also be sure to follow our other platforms on Twitter and Instagram. With all that said, guys, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Peace.
See you soon.
Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.